Ellie, what's my level of pronunciation? I am asked this question a lot. And so in this video, I am going to show you how levels in pronunciation work. I've created a guide for you as well, so you can check your own level of pronunciation. In the guide, I give you examples of what I would expect somebody whose pronunciation is at a beginner level to be able to do, and then someone whose pronunciation is good and someone whose pronunciation is excellent should be able to do. Just scan this barcode here, or you can download it from the link in the description below. It's absolutely free. It is my gift to you. First of all then, let's have a look at these words here. We have got birthday, world, picture, April, London, parents, good food. So my question is, are these easy words or are they difficult words? Well, that's going to depend on how we judge them. If we look at these words just from a pure vocabulary point of view, these words are all the very basic words of English. These are all the words that you have learned in your first year of learning English as a little kid, way back in your school, whenever that was, wherever that was. These are all A1 level words, and they are in the 1000 most common words of English. Okay, so they're simple, right? However, I am sure that there are words in that list that made you cringe a little bit, that made you think, oh no, not that word. So even though these are not classed as being advanced words, actually, from a pronunciation point of view, these are all pretty difficult. Now, let's look at this list. Fickle, uncanny, complacent, paradox, bolster, curb, few and far between. All of these words are C2 level. You can see my point here, can't you? These advanced words are actually much easier to pronounce than the A1 level words. I don't spend a lot of time working with these words, not because they're less common, but because these are the kinds of words that learners learn much later once their pronunciation is already better. So what's going on? Well, several things actually. First of all, English has a really deep vocabulary and it's been influenced by languages from all over the world. We see this most often in the spelling, which is a bit of a nightmare because of all these different language influences. And it means that there's a lot of pronunciation that just needs to be learnt by heart because there is no logical relationships between the letters and the sounds. Secondly, what words are easy or difficult to pronounce depends on your own language background. If you speak an Indo-European language, for example, then pairs like work and walk are probably going to be loads of fun for you. Fun. But if your first language is, say, Japanese, this won't cause you so many problems, but getting the difference between lolly and lorry might, though. Next, we need to know how good your pronunciation teacher was when you were taught these basic words to begin with. I don't ever want to criticise another teacher or their methods, but we do need to acknowledge something here. In some parts of the world and at some points in time, teaching English to children has been seen as a low prestige career. I have heard this particularly from my students who first started learning English in ex-Soviet countries, and they had teachers who had never even left their town or city, never mind travelling to the UK to really develop their own language skills. So what they then do is they teach the children English that doesn't really reflect English as it's actually spoken. It's just not that good, okay? I don't like saying that, but you know, we have to be truthful here. We have to be truthful. So then what happens in many cases is that you're taught these basic A1 level words as a kid and you're not taught them very well. These bad teachings then stick and you find that you pronounce these words as an adult the same way that you did when you first learned them. The pronunciation is stuck and it's stuck wrong. So even though you might be looking at a really basic word like Thursday, you need to unlearn it, retrain your brain and start again. So there is a lot that goes into uncovering your pronunciation level, and your pronunciation level and your overall level of English are two separate things. In my guide, I've listed what I would expect pronunciation beginners to be able to do, what people with good pronunciation should be able to do, and what people with excellent pronunciation should be able to do. I'm going to talk you through some of these examples now, but remember to download the guide to get the full list. Okay, let's look at some examples then so that you can begin to check your own level of pronunciation. Look at these words here. We have parents. Are you saying parents or are you saying parents? Work and walk, we've already seen it. Are you able to make the lips nice and soft? Are you able to get that real clear difference between those vowels? Work, walk. What about this pair? Lolly, lorry. Are you able to really clearly make that difference between L and R? Want, won't. Have you got two clearly distinct different vowels here? Leaf, feel. You're making the L in two different ways. What about the breath at the end of this pair here? Hard, heart. So I would class all of these examples as beginner level examples. If you can't get all of those, then it suggests to me that you need to be looking at the fundamentals of your speech, the individual sounds. And again, you might be C2 level in your grammar, but pronunciation, as I've just told you, is a different thing. All right, let's make it a little bit more difficult. So have a look at these examples here. Do you know when you are adding sounds into these words? So we're going to have something like so awful. Are you adding a W here? So awful. She eats. Are you adding a Y sound? She eats. Do you know why you're adding that W and Y sound? It's not random, there's a rule behind it. What about this one? Pizza and chips. Can you hear that extra R sound in there? Are you pronouncing this R? Are you pronouncing it like an English R, which is a very kind of weak sound? It's got as much in common with the vowel sounds as it does with consonant sounds, the English R. Pizza and chips. Pizza and chips. Do you know why we're adding that R? Saw a funny thing. There's another R there. Saw a funny thing. Saw a. What about this one? The printer has broken. The printer is broken. The printer is broken. Do you know why I made those two changes? Are you making those two changes yourself? All right, let's look at some stress in longer stretches of speech. I'm looking forward to my birthday. Did you stress forward? Do you know why you stressed forward? Did you recognise that it was the particle of a phrasal verb, which you need to stress? I'm looking forward to my birthday. What about this one? Bus stop. Bus stop. Did you stress bus rather than stop? Do you know why you needed to stress bus? Did you recognise that this is a compound noun and we always stress the first part of compound nouns? Okay, so for me to judge your pronunciation skills as excellent, as advanced, I need you to be able to get the accuracy in all of the individual sounds, to have no rogue words, no random words that you're pronouncing incorrectly. I expect you to be able to handle the stress in a sentence over longer periods of speech, including understanding things like phrasal verbs, compound nouns, and how they impact stress. What we're going to look at here for the excellent pronunciation, the most difficult skill, is to be able to make weak forms weak and stress the strong forms accurately. So English is a stress-timed language, and that means that the space between the stress in a sentence is roughly equal regardless of how many syllables you have between the stressed words or the stressed syllables. Okay, I'm going to show you what this means, and you can check whether you're able to do this, whether you're able to keep up with me. So we're going to start with this sentence here. Mary delivered a lecture on phonetics. The stress of this sentence is going to fall on mare, as in Mary, lec, as in lecture, and phonetics. Okay, I'm not concerned about the on phonetics part. I'm not concerned about what happens after lecture in this example. I just want to focus on what goes on between Mary and lecture. So the first version of this sentence is this: Mary delivered a lecture on phonetics. Okay, can you hear that delivered is weak? I'm saying it very, very quickly. My volume is a little bit lower as well, and it's fast. Okay, delivered, 4 syllables, said really, really quickly. Mary delivered a lecture on phonetics. Okay, I've still got that accuracy in the individual sounds. I'm then going to make it a little bit longer. Mary's delivered a lecture on phonetics. Okay, 1 more syllable now. Okay, Mary as. So I've got has is nice and weak as well. Mary's delivered a lecture on phonetics. Okay, now let's make it a little bit longer still. Mary's been delivering a lecture on phonetics since 11 a.m. Okay, Mary has been delivering said in exactly the same amount of time as it took me to say delivered in the first example, right? You're still with me? Mary's been delivering a lecture on phonetics since 11 a.m. Alrighty, let's make it a little bit longer. Mary hasn't been delivering lectures on phonetics since last year. This is really, really hard. I know it's really, really hard, but to be an excellent pronouncer of English, that is not proper English, but to be able to pronounce English really, really well, you need to be able to do these things. You need to be able to really speed up when you need to and really slow down when you need to as well. One more time on that example. Mary hasn't been delivering lectures on phonetics since last year. It's not easy. Alrighty. Finally, what I would also expect you to be able to do is to change the stress in a sentence to reflect the different meanings, to reflect the different emphasis that you want to make. So we look at this one here, we're going out later. We could stress we're going out later, woohoo, and you're not coming, okay? Or we could say we're going out later, okay? Not now, wait on, hold your horses. We could stress out, we're going out later, okay? We're not staying in, we're going out later, okay? What I couldn't do is I couldn't stress going. We're going out later. What does that mean? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So to have this excellent pronunciation, you also need to know which words you can't stress for emphasis. Right, that's a lot, isn't it? Make sure that you download the guide because I give you some more teaching notes in there as well as all of the examples, and downloading the guide will mean that you are able to check your own pronunciation level. Let me know in the comments how you get on with that. I'm interested to know how you judge yourself. Beginner, good, excellent. Okay, and don't forget, don't take it personally. Your overall English level and your pronunciation level, they are not the same thing. Alrighty, well done. See you soon.